I remember when I did Cam, I remember getting up and I turned back and I look at my cat, and I look at my producer and he's shaking his head. I'm like, oh man, we done messed up.
And this is our hero. This is our hero who's gonna go do America's bidding and go over there. And you're like, okay. And those movies are successful. And so they continue this relationship. And you become a bit of a propaganda arm for the government.
30 years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets.
It's crazy how Shannon Sharpe has been allegedly fighting the higher-ups as his show has reportedly been getting canceled by them. While Shannon has been calling out all the big names that are calling their bidding, there's only one person who came to his defense in all this havoc. The word is that Joe Rogan has been protecting Shannon's show behind the scenes. This tea is getting hotter by the minute, so let's get into it. 1. Shannon's show getting canceled. Recently Shannon Sharpe has made a surprise visit to Cam Newton's show, where he spilled the beans about being canceled online. So y'all remember that extensive and explosive interview he did with Cat Williams, right? Well, he claimed that ever since that interview, he has been facing unwarranted pushback from the industry. He pointed out that while his interviews were watched by the majority of the public, he still has problems landing great clients because someone was intentionally blocking the traffic. The footballer turned YouTuber revealed that since his interviews had a great impact on unveiling the face of the real industry to the public, therefore the upper management has been dissatisfied with his approach. You see, Shannon Sharpe revealed that he refused to sell the carefully crafted image to the public. His platform is under serious threat of being canceled. It's important to note that Shannon's interview shifted the tide of the public opinion regarding many celebrities, including Oprah Winfrey, Kevin Hart, and Steve Harvey as well. Now, the thing that Shannon really pointed out during his sitting with Cam is that had been reaching out to do interviews, only never following through with their promises. He said,
and they're going to say a lot of different things, and they're going to be some people that you thought you might be able to get that they're not going to come.
During these sessions, Shannon revealed while the forces were trying to make him fall, he was rendered helpless by the cruelty of his friends behind the scenes. You see, Shannon has been in the industry for years now, and he has made connections during that period. However, Shannon revealed that he had never received a shred of help from those people. He explained that while he was hurt by their behavior, he wasn't surprised.
I didn't expect the vitriol to come, especially from some of the people, and I'm not going to say we were friends, but I'm saying we were cordial, we were friendly.
Shannon claimed that he has ruffled a lot of feathers due to his nature of letting his guests speak their mind. He revealed that since he didn't want to paint people in a positive or negative light because of what external sources demanded, he tipped the balance by letting some victims speak their side of the story. We all know how the main media tries to show one side only of the story, as fans claim that Shannon's unbiased approach unveiled some truths that were being concealed by the authorities.
But what people are upset about is that for some reason people come to me and I don't look at them with judgy eyes. I have no predetermined notion or preconceived notions, and they open up to me.
Right.
That's what they're upset about.
Anyway, Shannon revealed that he was apprehensive about a lot of things. Cat had exposed using his platform, so much so that he was allegedly worried about his life. However, he powered through the hate and disturbance in order to unveil the truth behind the glitz and glam of Hollywood. Now that no one has actually come out to claim that Shannon was in the wrong to let other people speak, they are coming after him, claiming that he had directed them to speak out like that.
I didn't know it was gonna cause this kind of ripple. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did.
He continued, saying,
he said it. He said, this is gonna put you in another dimension.
He definitely did.
He said,
but my mama said, boy, there's power in the tongue.
Yes.
You see, it's no secret that Shannon had majorities of the comedians grace his platform. However, since the reach of his platform was vast, he had to face brutal criticism as well. Okay, so people instantly attacked Sharpe for not stopping Cat Williams, while he continuously slandered their favorite comedians, and some were offended. A viral interview happened with a person who is not a real journalist, and with that in mind, Shannon took time during the Nightcap podcast with Chad Ochocinco to address the chatter. Shannon took the criticism with a grain of salt, saying, "Sometimes the only success they get to taste is taking a bite out of you. Leave him alone. I'm doing what I'm doing. Obviously 27 million people thought enough like, oh, he's sitting down with Kat. Word of mouth, maybe they saw a snippet or something. Maybe I need to sit down and watch this. It's 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 5 seconds. When was the last time somebody sat down for a non-sporting event? 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 5 seconds and watched and listened. Sharpe also responded to people who wanted a seasoned journalist to interview the comedian. I told you when I first started, I said I'm going to bring you some of the biggest celebs, entertainers, and athletes I can bring, and I'm going to allow them to have a conversation and maybe tell you something or share something with you that they've never said. That was it. I never said I was a journalist. I never professed to be a journalist. I'm an entertainer. Well, fans were right beside Shannon on this one. They explained that people who didn't follow through with their promises were the ones with the most tea on them. Shannon, those guests who canceled cannot come on your show because of the truthfulness of all that Kat spoke. I thank you for having Kat on your platform. I certainly have a renewed sense of knowing that we still have good humans, and this is all because of Mr. Cat Williams. Another added, true. A lot of people became jealous of Shannon Sharpe's success, and the views are higher on Shannon Sharpe's show because of how he asks questions. He comes across as kind, humble, and provides a safe space to speak. Shannon was right to ask Amanda about correcting a teacher. 2. Cat Williams. Well, as expected, Shannon Sharpe got a ton of criticism from the industry people, claiming that he didn't ask Cat Williams many follow-up questions. Well, Shannon ended the feud with an interview with former NFL star Chad Johnson. He said, follow-up question with what? You decide. You decide who to agree with. That's not my decision to make. You might remember that Cat Williams started the interview with a bang, becoming after 2 big-name comics in the industry. He claimed that both the artists plagiarized their work during stand-ups. He first took a shot at Cedric the Entertainer, claiming that he was modifying his original joke during his The Kings of Comedy show. He said, he thought that I was just a no-name comedian, and that he could take this joke and nobody would know. The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy, and he's doing it verbatim. He just changed my car into a spaceship. The joke wasn't just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke. And it's my closing joke. We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Afterwards, he revealed that Harvey ripped from Mark Curry, best known for portraying Mark Cooper in Hangin' with Mr. Cooper from 1992 to 97, with his role on The Steve Harvey Show. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had, he accused. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit. And then he gets this high top paid, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit. In addition to that, he decided to unveil the blatant exploitation of black people by the industry by commenting on the pay disparity issue that was prevalent at the time. He scorched Oprah Winfrey for taking advantage of young people of color. He said, it was the saddest thing ever because imagine being in your genre, in your sub-niche, whatever it is. Imagine being in your lane. Imagine being one of the very top of your lane. To the point where if they don't take you for the role, there's not 3 black actresses that they can say are bigger than you that we gonna give this to. Imagine you being at that point and having to humble yourself and say, they're not paying me, y'all, and they not making my pay go up because I'm doing better or nothing. It don't matter to them that I'm famous and people know me or nothing. They want to pay me exactly what they pay in The New Girl. And I've been suffering under it for a decade now, and just taking it. I've been getting whooped, but I just got to come say this is wrong. We should be ashamed, but this is a country where we don't pay the teachers. And then we say the kid is the most important thing. You can't have both of them. Well, as you already know, things escalated further when he went after Kevin Hart for being an industry plant. He claimed that Kevin had a predetermined success as the higher-ups wanted him to be at the top of the other artists.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club.
He already had his deals when he got there. Have we heard of a comedian who came to LA and in his first year in LA had his first sitcom on network television or had his own movie he was leading? For the record, it's not the first time Kat has leveled these claims on Kevin. During a stop on his conspiracy theory tour at Atlanta's Phillips Arena, Williams closed out his show with a few words in regards to Hart's career. He called Hart a puppet and claimed that Hart was in the palm of the higher authorities. He declared, "I've already proven that if the best they got in comedy is Kevin Hart, don't you boo a black man working hard, baby. Even if that ends a puppet, it's not his fault. We don't get mad just because I'm better than some black dudes doesn't mean I'm better than no black dudes. I'm saying if you want to be mad at Kermit the Frog, don't be mad at Kermit the Frog. Be mad at Jim Henson. Don't say F Donald Duck. What you really mean is F Walt Disney." Williams went on to wish Hart the best while separating himself as a comedian who refuses to participate in the puppet show. "I don't care nothing about that happens to Kevin Hart. I just wish him the best. I just know that somebody's hand is stuck up that baby. You understand? Oh, we're a puppet show. Boo boo. Please believe it. You're looking at the only guy that ain't." Williams confessed to Sharpe that he feels no way about calling out the duo, and they've alienated him his whole career. For 30 years, they're a group. These aren't three random guys. The way that Ricky Smiley kept appearing at all my auditions is because of Steve and said. He would even tell anybody that. Listen, they got a gang on that side. They know what it is. He even took shots at Tyler Perry, who is known for his Medea character. He claimed that Hollywood always forced black men to wear dresses while portraying them as weak. Conversely, white males have always starred in manly roles. He said, "He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I wouldn't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress." Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it Friday, Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract. That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe the best actors should be in the best role. He stirred the pot further when he weighed in on the various SA allegations Sean Diddy Combs faces, sharing that he once turned down an invitation to one of the producers' parties due to the S allegations floating around at home. Hip Hop DX reported, "I gotta protect my integrity in that virgin hole I was telling you about, cause P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. I still have a virgin butt and never have sucked a private to get this far in Hollywood. You got to tell him no. I did. I got the receipts for everything, I'm telling you." Well, his recurrent revelations got the attention and many people started to respond to his claims. During these responses, many feuds originated. However, there was only one person who actually sided with Kat and Shannon during the ordeal. 3. Joe Rogan inviting Kat to the podcast. You might not know, but while Kat unveiled many secrets, he also claimed that Joe Rogan would never invite him for the fear he would do something to upset the higher-ups. For reference, Joe Rogan is actually the biggest podcast out there at the time. At the time, Kat even hinted that had Joe's content dived into conspiracy theories, they could have been proven by him. Well, Joe Rogan defied the expectations and extended Kat an invitation to come on his podcast. This announcement struck the industry by surprise, as Joe has never invited Kat Williams on his show. Conspiracy theorists speculate that this might be Joe Rogan's sign of agreeing with Kat's allegations. During his sitting with Shannon, he said,
What are you talking about? I'll have you on. Let's go.
2 times.
Anytime.
To convey his seriousness, Joe later took on to the internet, alluding that he is looking forward to having a conversation with Kat. He tweeted, "I love Kat. He's one of my favorite comics and I'd love to have him on. We talk about him all the time. If he's down, I'll make it happen." Joe even hinted that the number of comics in the world was pretty low, and when they tried to find people they could vibe with, the number dropped significantly. However, Joe claimed that people like them are the real superheroes who could spit the truth in such a way that resonated with the audience.
And this is our hero. This is our hero who's going to go do America's bidding and go over there. And you're like, okay. And those movies are successful. And so they continue this relationship. And you become a bit of a propaganda arm for the government.
Joe even took shots at the top of the food chain. He claimed that it was the higher-ups who want to make billions and millions of dollars at the expense of young artists so that they could literally influence the whole world.
Oh, if you're running corporations and you're making billions of dollars, you're going to get bored. What's the ultimate game? The ultimate game is to run the whole world.
Y'all, you all remember that Kat revealed that he had all the tea of Hollywood. For those who don't remember, he said, "Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, somebody come tell me. I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know and they all know it. You don't make me the villain, not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard substance in his life, and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty, and they'll just go out and lie. The industry doesn't mess with Cat because he didn't show up to the studio. No studios have ever said that. The pimp boldly expressed that he didn't fear any of the higher-ups because he has held his faith close to his heart. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. And that's why. You know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? It's to act like it didn't happen. Well, apart from Joe, the comedian Lavelle Crawford also sided with Cat Williams during the tough times. He said, "Comedians that Williams named when you chime in on stuff, it just makes it more valid. I think Cat, he just gonna talk. He's one of them cats, man. He ain't afraid of nobody. He say what's on his mind and probably had some confrontations. You gotta remember, more the money go up in your life, the more the spite comes out of other people. And if y'all on the same scene, see, the one thing about black entertainers, we think it's only one bag. We don't even understand. We think it's just one bag, and that's how all these beefs come up." The word has it Joe has been actively trying to help Shannon while his show is under threat. Fans are also calling out the elites for trying to take Shannon down. Classic example of all the people loving something and the elite trying to ill it. Another added, "If we allow the entertainment industry to hurt Shannon Sharpe, then we deserve what they will do to us too. Support Shannon Sharpe and Cat Williams." And that's it for today. See you in the next one. Goodbye.